Hello. Today Arno and I are going to talk to you about Esperanto. Esperanto is the most spoken artificial language in the world. There are about 2 million speakers worldwide. And so we're going to try to show you how it can lead, how it and its ideas can lead to a different, better life for you and for everyone. A quick history of Esperanto. Um, the language was created in 1887 by Ludwig Lazarus Zamenhof, who is the person on the picture on the right, who wrote the Fundamento of Esperanto, which is essentially the book that tells why the language was created and tells the grammar rules. So first, the language had quite a bit of success. There were clubs that sprang up all around Europe, and there were congresses every year. The first congress was actually in France at Boulogne-sur-Mer, and there was even a proposal in the League of Nations for it to become the official international language of the world, but that was refused in the end. However, during World War II and the Cold War, Esperanto speakers were discriminated against as it was considered a Jewish or communist language. For example, Adolf Hitler in Mein Kampf says that Esperanto is a Jewish language, and for example, all the children of Zamenhof were killed during the Holocaust. So that definitely slowed down Esperanto during these times, and more recently the internet has given new life to Esperanto because Esperanto speakers from all around the world can talk to each other through the internet and learn through the internet. And now for a quick Esperanto grammar lesson. The language is meant to be very easy to learn because, Zamenhof realized that no one was going to learn a hard language. So I highlighted three things that really show how easy the language is to learn. It's, for example, the vocabulary. They're formed from roots and affixes. So all the roots come from European languages. For example, the root for heat, for the idea of heat, is varm, which sounds a lot like warm in English. And then there are affixes. For example, the O means it's a noun, so varm O is heat. A means it's an adjective, so varma is hot, etc., etc. And then there are also other affixes that you can add. So, for example, et means smaller. So, smaller heat is warm. Egg is bigger, and mal gives the opposite. And there are around 30 affixes like that, so you can combine them and make new words. That way, one root gives around 10 words. And of course, you can see that there are dashes to separate the affixes, but those can be removed in a normal language. Then there are the verbal tenses, which are very complicated in some language, but are very simple and very regular in Esperanto. They're highlighted here, so I won't go into much detail. And then there's, for example, a free word order, so that all native speakers of all languages can learn Esperanto easily. For example, in other languages, the object comes before the verb. That's possible in Esperanto. What's important is the N that you can see at the end of pomon. It shows that it's a direct object. It's sort of a declension. And as long as you have the N, you know what is the direct object and what is the subject, which doesn't have the N, and you can put the words in whatever order you want. That's perfectly fine. And so in the Fundamento, there are only 16 grammar rules. There are no exception to these rules, and once you've learned these 16 rules, you're done for grammar with Esperanto. That's how easy it is.
Zamenhof lived at a time where European countries were always fighting each other, and he also lived at a place where there were many languages spoken, and so he realized that the language barrier had a huge role in in separating people and creating conflict between them. So he thought that a solution to destroy this aggressivity was to create a new language, a language that will be used to communicate between people with different languages, a language that will have to be easy to learn without any cultural or political meaning, and that's why he created Esperanto. Esperanto was supposed to be used as an auxiliary language, not replacing an existing language. For example, for your everyday life, you use your own language, but when you have to speak with someone who don't speak your language, you can use Esperanto, and for diplomacy, you can also use Esperanto, just a bit like English today. And due to the reasons of its creation, Esperanto carries an idea of uh, of of mutual understanding and peace, and the Esperanto. That's why Esperanto is making people is making mankind as a whole people instead of dividing in multiple groups, multiple nations and religion. It is very combining all human in the same group and making them talking to each other. And that's why Esperanto speakers are a community. They can meet each other, for example, in Esperanto Congress every year, or the rest of the year they have the internet to chat. For example, there is Discord server about Esperanto where you can see people who speaks very well Esperanto and beginners, and they help each other, and it's very cool because you can speak with people from all around the world and with an easy language. There is also something called Passport Servo. With this, you can go to someone else's house. You can sleep and have a breakfast for free. The only thing you have to do is to speak. All the exchanges needs to be in Esperanto, and this is a very old thing before all the bed and breakfast on internet or something like that.
Dankon kaj ĝis la revido.